Hi guys, Kim Jong Lee here, back here with another online commentary battle for Total War, this time sent in by Sparky of the Immortals of War clan. He's playing with his friends Ambiorix and TURK. I believe both of them are in the Immortals of War clan as well, and they're playing against King Markus as the Scipii, Tutmosis as the Carthaginians, and Valrith. I'm not sure who that is, but Valrith here with the Julii Romans. So if we go through the builds, TURK here has got a bunch of urbans and a bunch of Praetorian Cav, 14-6, best build in the game. Ambiorix has got a bunch of archers here, four Cretan archers, looks like 6 companion Cav, maybe 5? 6 companion Cav, and the rest Royal Pikes. And his ally Sparky, the guy who sent me the game, is he's got 2 Archer Auxilia here, looks like silver or maybe gold bronze, not sure, or gold silver for this one maybe, and 5 Praetorian Cavs and the rest urban cohorts. Their opponents, King Markus has 2 Archer Auxilia here, 1 Roman archer, which is very odd, and the cavalry general, which is complete trash, and he has 5 Praetorian Cav and the rest urbans. So not many urbans here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 urbans. So I believe Tut doesn't have any Cav, so he's just got 3 Valrith slingers and 17 Sacred Band, which look like they're gold god with a chevron or something. And Valrith has 14-6 it seems. We see the incredible utility of the Roman armored general charging into urban cohorts here, killing some of them but also losing some Cav, so not doing much. Yeah, so not quite sure what the enemy team was thinking with this army. I'm quite confused as to why Tut didn't bring Cav. I think you can't really play Carthage like Greece. It's a bit difficult because your Sacred Band just aren't as good. But that seems to be what his team wants him to do, or what he wants to do at least. So he's got to roll with what he's got. TURK here pushing very aggressively, sticking himself in the middle of everybody and throwing his cav around, making use of them, I guess. And he should, because Markus and Valrith don't have their cav nearby to really do anything about his. Markus bringing in some cav soon to stop his archers from dying? Apparently not. But TURK is going to be able to chase some Valrith slingers and archers around, but they should come back. They still have plenty of guys. As you can see, this Praetorian Cav pathetically chasing this Valrith slinger. It is going to catch it eventually, but not really worth it most of the time. TURK here going for one of his famous charges that look really risky against this blob of Sacred Band. That is one compact blob of Sacred Band, I'd have to say. Like thousands of units just mashed up into this small area. And he seems to be swapping spots with Valrith. Valrith getting stuck on some of these pikes here and getting peeled to bits. A lot of urbans just hitting the ground there, hitting the canvas for Valrith. Never good to see. Also, a nice charge coming in here from Sparky. I was going to say, TURK could actually have charged in here down the middle, and in combination with Sparky, maybe actually got a mass rout there, but that could be a bit risky. Markus is on the side here, and Valrith can also charge in the front here, but it is something that you could have gone for. We also have Ambiorix just sitting around, shooting with his archers, I guess, shooting these Sacred Band dudes as they run around the map. Indeed. As you can see, leaking some men around the map. So positioning wise, Valrith is not in the best position. I would send some pikes to reinforce, which is what TURK is doing, which is very nice to see. I always like to see pike players just reinforcing their allies with a few pike units, or maybe even swapping for a few urbans, because I think this eliminates so much of the downside of Rome. One of the downsides of Rome is that cav charges do very well against Rome because they don't have pikes, so you can charge through the front kind of whenever you like, and it can get a route or two. But if you have pikes there, then charging through the front becomes kind of a horrible option, because your cav will just die on the pikes. So I really like to see this from TURK actually. That being said, they don't have that much infantry, so on this side they're gonna get overwhelmed, at least this front line. And the structure of these guys is not great either. They seem to be just getting pressured, and cav charges will be very effective on this clump here. We also have Sparky in the center, who is now doesn't have any opponent to face because everyone's gone over to this right side. I'm not sure what they're really doing here. Sparky coming with a charge, just going to kill off some of Valrith's units there that are stuck. That was a very obvious charge, and good thing Sparky went for that, because I mean, you have to punish something like that. TURK going to come in with a counter charge as well against some of Valrith's cav here. He is going to be met with some Sacred Band pikes though, which is good movements from TURK. Things aren't looking too good for TURK, but his urban seem to be holding out well enough. Some nice routes coming in here thanks to MARKUS, but also the counter charge has done quite a number on Valrith's cav from Sparky and from TURK. It looks like this flank here has just melted on thanks to Sparky's massive infantry, and now if we just pause the battle here, we have Sparky here coming around the back, we have TURK coming through the front, Valrith's cav all the way over here. That's very, very far away. Yeah, if you bring them back, you usually bring them back to about here or something like that, but this is pulling back way too far. There's nothing there for you to kill, so really this is not a good move, but he'll bring them back. On this side, you have MARKUS and TURK. MARKUS, his guys are in a horrible formation. They're all just clumped up on the front of a bunch of pikes, which is always bad. Ambiorix still has his cav here. MARKUS also has some random units scattered around. TURK also has a Sacred Band unit standing in the middle of nowhere. So we can see that at this point Valrith and TURK will just die unless Valrith's cav and MARKUS's cav somehow swings this battle in their favor. On this side, Ambiorix should die, statistically speaking, but I don't think he'll die quickly enough, because infantry doesn't route very quickly. Infantry doesn't get routes very quickly. I have to question the game plan of the enemy team. They split up their guys and went for... They kind of extended everywhere despite not having as much cav as their enemy, which means you can't reinforce parts of the battlefield as quickly as your opponent, so you're at a disadvantage there already. Second of all, they also went for this route on the Macedonians, and if you're going to trade routes, you don't really want to trade for Macedon. I mean, your opponents are essentially getting Rome here. They're getting these Julii Roman urbans, and they're only losing a bunch of royal pikes. Like, urbans are more expensive than the royal pikes, so you're really just losing out in terms of value if you're going to go for royal pike routes. And yeah, this isn't even like... Ambiorix hasn't even invested all that much in these royal pikes compared to other standard Macedonian armies. This isn't even a very infantry heavy one. Like, he has 4 Cretan archers and he has 6 cav as well, so his cav are just prancing around the back here. I think Ambiorix should have sent some cav over here to help out TURK and Sparky. I think he could have afforded to send 2 or 3 cav, and maybe just had 3 or 4 cav of his own harassing these urbans here. But yeah, as predicted, TURK and Valrith collapse very, very quickly here, and TURK and Sparky are just able to turn their attention over here to all this these blobs of infantry, which are in awful positions, and are not going to fare well against all this cav and all this infantry. So, two things to question there: why they went for an aggressive move, like throwing 2 armies of infantry against one flank, and why they went for Macedon in particular. If you're going to throw 2 armies of guys against something, or hopefully go for a fast route on something, or do a swap trade route, so trading one of your armies for one of your opponent's armies, you want to be getting the better trade. And they went for a trade on the Macedonian Royal Pikes for their urbans, which is 100% not worth it. So some things you definitely have to question there. I think things could have been done better by both teams. I think Ambiorix could have sent cav over. I think his cav wasn't doing much there anyway, other than maybe harassing some of the urbans. So he could have sent some cav over to speed up the route. The enemy team, unfortunately, just didn't really have a coherent game plan, I think. I'm not sure what Tut was going for with the army he brought. I think you always bring cav with Carthage. It's just, cav is just so good in this game. So you always bring cav with Carthage, and not bringing cav means that his team should have gone for a more static plan that involved just sitting around and grinding the infantry fight and going for counter charges instead of aggressively going for mass routes. But anyway, nice game, and yeah, I mean, some of the routes here, really cool, a lot of white flags, which always get your blood going, so nice to see games like this as well occasionally. So thanks for the game, Sparky, really like this one. I'll see you guys another time.